myself Professor D.S. Rai, Professor Department of Civil Engineering, BBD, IITM Lucknow. Today I will cover subject KCE 076 Urban Transportation Planning, in which today I will take lecture 5, in which I will discuss the role of transportation, social, political and environmental. The references that I have taken are Chakraborty, Partha and Das Animes, Principle of Transportation Engineering, Papa Costa, CS and Prevendors, PD, Transportation Engineering and Planning, Kadiali, LR and Lal, NB, Principles and Practices of Highway Engineering, Neptel, and some material have been taken from the internet. The content that I will cover today is improved access to the market and town, increased production, women and transport, role of transportation, political, administration of an area, environmental role of transportation, safety, air pollution, noise pollution, energy consumption and other impact. So, today I will cover these topics. These topics are in continuation of lecture 4. So, the first topic is improved access to the market and town. At one time, development plan assumed that the only activities of the rural poor was agriculture, and development was therefore to consist solely of trying to improve the agricultural performance, including access to the local market by motorized transport. These plans fail to appreciate the diversity of the economic activity of the rural poor. The majority supplement their agriculture income with such activities as basket making, cash crops, piece work, fish farming and other activities which improve the economic position of the poor. All these benefit from easier access to the local town and the city. Urban access tends also to lead to more opportunity for paid work, greater diversity of purchases of consumers' goods and thus more involvement in the cash economy. Provision of regular motorized transport enable quicker transport of more goods to urban market with a marginal saving on the transport cost. Road improvement led to greater competition and falling fare on privately provided bus and goods transport services. Passenger travel was negligible due to the extreme remoteness of the region and the poor road system. Of more concern was ability of the regular good transport services to take large quantity of goods to be sold in the town. However, other factors such as no more available farmlands, because land is scarce and population is growing with a very fast rate in our country, or even a other country the population is growing. Lack of, and other factor is lack of storage are also relevant to increasing the production. 90% found possibility of increasing household income as being most important reason for wanting a better road. Other important reasons mentioned were better accessibility to school and the health services. Family, now come to the women's and transport, because 50% or half of the society are women, and their development is also linked with the development of the society. So, family with a female rather than a male head tend to be poorer. In many such culture, women have responsibility not only for the family care, which leads to them traveling more for the purpose of their children's health care, but for fetching water and firewoods. Men works away or tends to farmland. Women in the rural society undertake 75% of all transport tasks. In rural area, especially in rural area, women are used the transportation system most of the time for collecting firewood, collecting health cares of the children, of the family, and other works. Women are also less likely to be able to take advantage of a rural transport improvement, as they are less likely to possess their own independent source of income. Women's subjection in the common feature and of the rural society in the developing world. It is most important planner for the planner to ensure that the transport improvement take into the account the need of women and the social and their social responsibility, so as to avoid the benefit of any program being enjoyed only by the men, even where the male heads of the family might try to ensure that this happens. The world is divided into numerous political units which are formed for mutual protection, economic advantage, and development of common culture. The transportation play an important role in the functioning of such political unit. The government of an area must be able to get information to and about such people. It may include law to be followed, security, other needful information needed to generate awareness, and efficient administration of the country largely depend upon how effectively government could communicate this information to all the country. However, with the advent of communication, it is important is slightly reduced. Now, government is looking about the rural communication. So, government has launched a very prestigious rules as a PMGSY project, you can say project, Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana, which will connect all the habitation having population more than 500, and this will lead the society for the betterment. It may include law to be followed, security and other needful information needed to generate awareness. However, with the event of communication is important is slightly reduced, the choice may be classified as a communication, military movement, travel of the person and movement of the freight. These are the three basic things for the transportation. First is military movement. Earlier, the objective of the government, even in the British period, objective of the government was to take care of the movement of the military. Travel persons, today travel persons and movement of the freight, the goods produced in the rural area sending to the urban area for the better earning income. The primary function of the transportation is transfer of messages and the information. It is also needed to rapid movement of the troop in case of emergency and finally movement of the persons and the goods. The political decision of the construction and the maintenance of the road has resulted in the development of the transportation system. The negative effect of transportation is more dominating than its useful aspect as far as transportation is concerned. There are numerous categories into which the environmental effect has been categorized and they are explained in the different sections. Growth of transportation has a very unfortunate impact on the society. In terms of accident, worldwide death and injury from world accident have reached epidemic proportion. Killed and about 15 million injured on the road accident annually. Increased variation in the speed and the vehicle density resulted in a high exposure to the accident. Accident result in the loss of life and permanent disability, injured and the damage to the property. Accident also cause numerous non-quantifiable impact like loss of time, grief to the near one of the victim and inconvenience to the public, the loss of life and the damage for natural disaster, industrial accident and epidemic often receive significant attention from both government and the public. This is because their occurrence is concentrated but sparse. On the other hand, accident from the transport sector are widespread and occur with a high frequency. Disaster, industrial accident or epidemic often receive significant attention for both government and the public. This is because of the occurrence of the concentrated but sparse. On other hand, accidents from the transport sector are wide spread and occur with a high frequency. Road accident as a cause to death and disability could rank below heart disease and clinical depression and ahead of stroke and all infection disease. The significant reduction to accident rates is achieved in the developing country by improved road design, maintenance, improved vehicles design, driver education and law reinforcements. However, in the developing nation, the rapid growth of personalized vehicle and the poor infrastructure, road design, law enforcement has resulted in growing accident rate. air pollution. This is a major factors of the road transport or any other transport whose emit greenhouse gases and other harmful gases. All transport mode consume energy, and the most common source of energy is from the burning of fossil fuel like coal, petrol, diesel, etc. The relation between air pollution and respiratory disease have demonstrated by various studies. Because we are inhaling a lot of harmful gases in our heart or lungs, and many people are died due to this problem. Though transportation is very useful for the development of the society, for the development of the nation, but it is also creates a problem in the society due to emission of harmful gases. Air pollution again detrimental effect on the planet Earth is widely recognized recently. The combustion of fuel releases several contaminants into the atmosphere, including carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, oxide of nitrogen, and particulate matter. Hydrocarbons are the result of incomplete combustion of the fuels. The particulate matter are minute solid or liquid particles that are suspended into the atmosphere. They includes aerosol, smoke, and dust particles. These air pollutants, once emitted into the atmosphere, undergo mixing and disperse into the surrounding. This is the first. Second is noise pollution. Sound is acoustical energy released into the atmosphere by vibrating or moving body, whereas noise is unwanted sound produced. The transportation is a major contributor of noise pollution, especially in urban areas. In rural area it is not affected so much, but in urban area it is a big problem, and the many persons are facing a lot of problem regarding the hearing. Noise is generated during both construction and operation. During construction, operation of large equipment cause considerable noise to the neighborhood. During the operation, noise is generated by the engine and exhaust system of vehicle, aerodynamic friction, and interaction between the vehicle and the support system, road tires, rail wheel, etc. Extended exposure to the excessive sound has been shown to produce a physical and psychological damage of a person. Further, because of its annoyance and disturbance, noise adds to the mental stress and fatigue. and this cause the person damage to the person in many ways. The next is energy consumption, because motorized vehicle, motorized transport consumes energy. The spectacular growth in industrial and economic growth during past century have been closely related to an abundant supply of inexpensive energy from fossil fuel. Transportation sector is unbelieved to consume more than half of the petroleum products. The impact of the shortage of fuel was experienced during major war, when a strict rationing was imposed in many countries. The impact of this has cascading effect on many factors of society, especially in the price escalation of essential commodities. The country like India, where fossil fuel means petroleum products are not available in good quantity. Of course, we have a coal, but as far as petroleum products is concerned, India has a very less petroleum products. So, we are importing petroleum products from the petroleum exporting country. And in this connection, huge quantity of foreign exchange have been expended in importing the petroleum products. So, economic is also disturbed due to more energy consumption. So, now the government is now shifting the dependency on the petroleum products. Now, the government is planning to go for the non-conventional energy or electrified system. So, hydropower or thermal power may be used. During the time of fuel shortage, people shifted to cheaper public transport system. Policy makers and the planners therefore gave much emphasis to the public transit, which consume less energy per person. Say 100 people are going, and if each people driving their own car, they will consume more fuel as compared to the public transport like bus, which carry 50 persons in a bus. So, only 2 buses will be required instead of 100 cars. The second impact was in the development of fuel efficient engines and device and operation. A fast depleting fossil fuel has accelerated the search for energy efficient and environmental friendly alternate energy resources. The second impact was development of fuel efficient engine devices, operations and maintenance of practices. The research in active in the development of biofuel, hydrogen fuel and solar energy. Other impacts are also there. Almost all city uses 20 to 30% of its land in transport facility. Transport facility requires much land, and land is limited. So, increased travel requirement also require additional land for the transport facilities, as good transportation system takes considerable amount of land from the society. The transportation facility like flyovers are again a visual intrusion in the urban context. The social life and the social pattern of a community is severely affected after introduction of some transportation facility. So, this is the end, and thank you very much. Thank you.